Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Wednesday the 27th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning way early, like 3 a.m. Dog woke me up, pooping up my bathroom. Luckily made it all to the big rug, so I was able just to chuck the rug outside, and we're about cleaning it up after I actually got up for the day. So, but got back down to bed a little bit there. Got a little bit of rest back after that, but I was awoke pretty heavily, so didn't get much sleep. I did doze off a couple of times here and there. Finally got up about 5:30, 6. Got up, got the dogs outside, doing my best to keep them quiet. Wife got up and started moving around, so I was able to get the dogs in and get them all fed and all that good fun stuff that comes with that. So got them medicated, everything that goes along, taken care of. Have a bunch of dogs getting dropped off today, so one of the dogs supposed to get dropped off like 8 a.m. They're never on time, and they're just awful about letting me know they're coming. The time frame is just always crap. It just, no matter what, it always is crap. So hadn't heard from. Had another dog getting dropped off like 9 a.m. My wife wanted to go to work like 9:30. She wanted to be at work, so trying to figure out the time frames and stuff. The one dog reached out and they said they were on their way. I said cool. So I reached out to other people like, hey, what time you drop the dog off? He's only here for daycare. For the second one, the one's always late, and hadn't heard nothing. I finally heard back from like, oh, he's about 10 minutes away, and I'm like, okay, well now you're pushing that time frame of getting the dog dropped off right before I gotta leave, which sucks because these around new dogs he's never been around before, so I wanted to make sure they have a chance to introduce each other properly before I have to go take my wife. And the way her leg's still screwed up, she has to ride in the backseat of the car, so normally I would just take the dog with me or whatever when I take her someplace, but I can't because the dog won't stay in the front seat worth a damn, and I can't have the dog jumping on in the back seat kind of thing with their legs. So went ahead, they did finally get dropped off. Drop off went smoothly. Dogs are all getting along fine, so really no issue there, just kind of a pain in the butt. So I isolated out a couple of dogs that I didn't want to have to worry about while I was gone, so I ran up, dropped my wife off at work real quick, got her all into the office and position and all that good fun stuff taken care of. Headed back home real quick to basically check on the dogs, I guess, lack of a better term. Hung out with the dogs for a while, and then it was time to basically head over to go walk the other dogs that I'm walking. By that point, the dogs have all been playing. They're all getting along fine, so I got nothing to worry about. So got that all done. The dogs were wore out from playing and stuff, so they were all fine. I went down and walked the two dogs that I walk at the RV park, and took them for a walk. And one of the things I do with these dogs, so I walk out down a route, and then I halfway through the walk, when time's done, I turn around. So depending on how much they sniff and play around, we might walk a little farther than others. But every time they go to the bathroom, I pick it up and I put the poop bag on the ground. Usually I set it like on top of a tree root, or I set it like on a bare spot in the yard, somewhere it's easy to spot or I can't miss when I come back, kind of thing. And by the yard I mean side of the road, side of the driveway type thing, not somebody's like actual yard. But so I was like, no big deal. So I dropped the bags. There's 3 different poops from 2 dogs. So I'm all good. Get to the end of the walk, turn around, head back, and going back, I'm like, where the hell's that bag at? Like, I swear I put it here. And I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I got to the other spot right by the telephone pole where I know I put it, and it's missing also. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I know it was here. And that one defense, there's a gentleman that has a piece of property right there that he's listed up for sale. So he's been doing a ton of work getting it cleaned up. It was kind of a real trashy spot, and there's a lot of just trash out in this area that is like road debris and people throwing out cans and bottles and trash and bags and stuff. So he had a couple guys there working, so I'm wondering if he doesn't have them, when they first get there, they walk the street line, the road line there, to look for any trash that people have thrown out of their cars. And that very easily could have been what happened, who knows. So I kind of played that off, no big deal. When I get back into the RV park where I set the poop bag, for months I'd done this before, and I used to walk the dogs all the time, and I get there and that bag's also missing. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I was like, oh, no big deal. So I reached out to the owner and said, hey, just so you know, if one of your neighbors, whatever, kind of calls you on like, hey, I saw your dogs out walking, they didn't pick up their dog poop, whatever the day, let them know I intended 100% to pick it up. That's why I dropped it there. Instead of carrying it the other half mile out on the walk around with me, I pick it up on my back. That's why I set it right where it was, in the open spots and stuff. She's like, well, maybe somebody. I told her all 3 spots where they were, so at least they would be able to say, well, these are the 3 locations that he left them at, and then you guys chose to pick him up before he got back from his walk. So, but it's all good. She kind of laughed about it. So I wanted her to know that's what was happening. So in case somebody confronted her, she wouldn't be like, oh, I'll make sure I tell and do better next time. That's already been handled. So it's kind of an oddball feeling there. So got back, went ahead and I took the car with me because my wife was wanting me picked up after I got back from that walk. So had the car done and stuff, drove back. And even as I left, I even looked and made sure like the 2 spots that, actually all 3 spots I could have seen in the car in case like somehow I just missed it while walking. If I hadn't, they were gone. So text her and said, hey, this is where I'm at, this is how far I'm out, I'm on my way back to pick you up. And she said, cool. So I got there, picked her up, everything went smoothly, got her loaded up in the car and stuff, everything's all good to go. From there, got back home, know where she wanted to stop on the way. I always ask her where she wants to drive by or stop kind of thing, and she didn't. So got home, hung out with the dogs for a while, play with them, just got a good chill vibe going. The dogs and all are all hanging out, having a good time. Went ahead, got my run in. Was trying to figure out the drop-off time for another dog getting dropped off later in the afternoon, and they were talking at 5:30-ish. They were thinking. Turned out they were going to drop off closer to 5, so absolutely that's fine for me. And somehow I got pushed back to like 5:15. They even punched their GPS in their way, and they're like, what the heck? But I'd already went, got my run in. When I got back with my wife at the office, she laid down to take a nap and rest up that from being at work. So I went ahead and went for my run then, so it was all over and done with. I didn't worry about it. So came, dropped their dog off. The dog's super happy to be here. He's a great dog. And then I had another client drop off 2 more dogs this evening. And the little male dog, he's an old little shithead, but he likes to pee in the house on stuff. So he usually gets kind of stuck in like a playpen or something when he's in the house, but trying to get them out. Normally if I get him outside real quick, it's not a big deal. He'll mark a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be in the house. But I ended up peeing on 3 spots in the house before I got him out of there. And they wanted to go out and play with other dogs really bad. So they're really well-behaved dogs. They're just, he's a peer. So once I got him out, got everything all cleaned up and stuff, and then played with them out there, came back in, had some dinner, got all the dogs fed that needed to be fed. Some had been, some hadn't been. The one lady brings her dog to me, and he eats like chicken and stuff too and all kinds of things. But she didn't have time to make chicken, so she stopped by and picked up a couple of rotisserie chickens, which I'd almost prefer she's brought me some chicken breast and I cook it up myself, because I hate dispatching a chicken breast, like the rotisserie chickens. It's a pain in the butt. I feel like I'm losing so much meat that I don't know how to clean it very well. It's just not something I've ever done. I don't enjoy it. So got that pulled off some chunks, got him fed, everything's good to go. After dinner, we ended up heading back out to basically just kind of hang out outside, and all the dogs were getting along. There was a little bit of rough play here and there, and a couple of the dogs getting a little loud and they're barking and stuff and whatnot, but no real issues, just everybody trying to find their space. And the one little pit bull, she keeps licking everybody, like constantly just licking people. It's so ridiculous. So I also had another of my clients that wanted to stop by and pick up that little pit bull. It licks everybody. They wanted to come take her for a walk today. So I told them early in the morning, I said, hey, I'm leaving at this time. So this is the absolute latest you can be here. I have to leave to go walk their dogs and stuff. And they came a little bit early. So they got there about 11:15 in the morning. So I said 11:30 is the latest I can leave. So they came, picked up one of their cars, and basically they got a car stored at my house. So they took the Cadillac, left the BMW, took the dog and went wherever. And then when I got back from picking my wife up at work on the way back, they asked if I was back yet, because I told them I couldn't drive back off. I got back home. And so we got that scheduled. They came back and dropped the dog off. So it was actually kind of nice that dog wasn't here while I was gone. So it was one less dog for my mom to worry about while I was out walking their dogs. So we all hung out. Everybody had a good time. The little pit bull goes home on the 1st. It'll be here for a solid month, and he goes home on the 1st. So I'm gonna kind of miss her. She's a good dog. She really is. She gets a little bit. She's obsessed with food, really bad. She has a really problem with food, but not aggression, just obsession. Like if there's food out, she's like, oh my gosh, she eats way too fast and stuff. But other than that, her biggest problem with our dogs is she tries to lick them all the time and tries to lick their face and stuff. And some of the dogs tolerate it, some of the dogs don't enjoy it. So it kind of becomes a bit of an issue. But overall, it's been pretty good. So anyway, hung out there, had myself a nice cigar, enjoyed the beautiful weather, trying to rain off and on and whatnot. So it kind of made it, the dogs were kind of trapped up on the lanai with me because they didn't want to be out in the rain either. So, but everybody got out, everybody had a good time, and it's all good to go. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.